Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. Forget about other games, I am on a kick with Scarlet Hollow, and I want to start my next playthrough right away, my alternate playthrough for the channel. I've already decided what all of my new traits and romance options and what a lot of my major decisions are going to be, so let's just get started. Alright, so to differentiate this playthrough from my last one, I'm going to use a different name. And I thought I would use a name from another one of those red-haired female characters that I use as my avatar on this channel. At first, I wanted to use Red after Red from Transistor, but Red Scarlet is kind of a dumb name, so I'm instead going to go with Madeline from Celeste. Alright, city doesn't matter, I'll say Wilmington again. And I'm still she, her. Okay, so traits. We are going to continue ignoring hot and use the other traits that I have not used yet. Powerful build. We're tough as nails, the pinnacle of fitness, an imposing presence that commands the room and a mean right hook. And we're going to be street smart. We're good at lying and hard to lie to. We're a fast talker. You can read people and read the room, and no door can hold you. So we're going to be imposing and tricky, and that fits with what I feel like is going to be a very messy playthrough. Like, Madeline is going to be a messy bitch, pardon the phrase. She's gonna lie and punch and basically choose as many rude or unsavory dialogue options as she can, just because I want to see what happens when you go that route. Everyone is gonna hate me. Tabitha, who we were befriending very well in the last episode, in the last playthrough I should say, she is gonna hate me. And I think this will be a very interesting playthrough, so stay tuned. Okay. So, since I already did a playthrough on this channel, I'm going to skim or skip anything that I've seen before on the channel. I won't use like an auto skip, if that function even exists, because I did play the game once off camera, and I don't want the game to skip things that I have personally seen but hasn't been on the channel yet, so I'll manually click through everything, but just kind of skim everything. So, jolt awake as the bus hits a nasty bump. Alright. You're hazy on where here is, but you're gonna remember. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the long bus rides. Your cousin bought the tickets. And we're here for the funeral of Pearl Ann Scarlet, our aunt. We had a rocky relationship with her side of the family. Our late mother did, rather. But we're almost in Scarlet Hollow. So anyway, as I was saying, the stranger is still sitting here. He's been talking to you for the past 5 hours. But it's all a one-sided conversation even after you dozed off. He was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around. They were doing pranks, pushing joggers into the harbor. Alright, so feign an illness. Probably won't work on him. You violently fake a coughing fit. Pretending to be sick has always been one of the better ways to get people to leave you alone in strange places. Oh, are you sick? That's alright. I'm pretty sure I've already had whatever you've got. I'm sick all the time. Gotta keep my immune system on its toes, you know? Oh my god, dude. You're the worst! So this girl comes up to us, and swinging her purse, telling us she was gonna call the cops. She hit my friend, but then she lost her balance and fell into the harbor. And her phone got soaked. We hung out all day. She's my girlfriend now, on and off, and pretty serious at the same time, of course. Then she tried to break up with him, and he wants to kill somebody. Stop trying to get a rise out of me. Stop it. Huh? Stop what? Whatever it is you think you're doing right now, you know what I'm talking about. The whole corner a stranger on the bus and try to make them uncomfortable act. I'm not playing along. Alright. Maybe I never really wanted to kill her, even if I threatened it a little bit. Anyway, she's giving birth to our son right now, yada yada. He's trying to get up there. But he's not into being a dad. He might go to New York and intimidate him. Get your act together. We're being real hostile to this guy right away, just using our combination of traits that we chose. I'm serious. Get your act together, or someday soon you're going to run into someone who doesn't tolerate your bullshit. You cross your arms and glare at the young man with menace in your eyes. Huh, alright, maybe you have a point. I guess New York will always be there waiting for me. Anyways, where'd you say you were headed? Don't answer. You don't say a word. The last thing you need right now is for him to know where you're going to be staying for the next week. So you're not getting off at my stop. You must be headed to Scarlet Hollow, or the Holler. He had a couple of buddies go to work in the mine, but he didn't want to do it himself. And he hasn't heard from his friends. Suspicious. Hope they didn't die. They might have, dude. They might have. He looks back at his phone. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. And then he's going to give us the peanuts. Got him at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag. Protein is protein. I didn't build these muscles by turning down free protein. You take the wet peanuts from the stranger. It's been several hours since you've had any protein, which is several hours too many in your book. You tear into them immediately, not even bothering to remove the shells as you chew through fistfuls of soft legume. In a few moments, they're all gone. Yeah, so I was going to choose the dialogue option to just eat them right away, because in my mind, Madeline is a big eater. But I guess the powerful build option just makes you eat them anyway. I figured someone like you would get some good use out of them. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. And just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe we can finally get some sleep. Next up, end of the line, almost there. Alright. Now we're gonna meet Tabitha and be real rude to her. Deposit you right in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. It's a kiosk. Da-da-da. The driver is eager to leave you and this place behind. Hey, Madeline. You instantly recognize the worn young woman. She's your cousin Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. Go for I can't talk. Go in for a firm handshake. Tabitha. You make direct eye contact, straighten your back, and extend your right arm. She holds out her hand limply in response. You grip it and squeeze, shaking once. Very professional. Tabitha's lip curls in disgust. She pulls her hand back quickly, covertly wiping it on her dress as she turns towards the car. I have never seen this face from her before. She immediately does not like me. Great. Come on, let's go. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. Icy silence. Alright. Dead Moms Club. I guess we're both members of the Dead Moms Club now, huh? I've avoided talking about the Dead Moms Club in both of my past playthroughs because I thought it's such a nasty, mean thing to say. Or at least, not mean, it's trying to forge a connection, but it's so, like, you know, It's so tactless. That's the word I was looking for. But Madeline is tactless. That's gonna be the running theme, so I guess we're both members of the Dead Moms Club now, huh? Your cousin turns to stare at you, with an icy hatred in her eyes. Maybe this would have worked to ease the tension if she were someone else, but she isn't. She turns back to the road, her expression cold and unforgiving. I'm not even gonna ask how she's holding up. Geez, that's almost a whole week till the funeral. Couldn't I have grabbed a later bus? Bus only comes on Monday. Yeah, I'm gonna skip all the friendly sounding dialogue options and be awful. It's seen better days, its crumbling elegance not lost on you. Used to cramped apartments in gray cities, the Scarlet Estate. Your mother told you about this place many times. What you imagine doesn't compare with what's in front of you. Opulence and ruin. It's something that should have been left to rot a long time ago. Hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold. Everything has been here for much longer than you've been alive. It's old, basically. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if I value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. Stick to your room, your bathroom, the kitchen, and the hallways, but only the ones you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around. Lie. Oh, I can lie. I mean, I could always lie with the help of Street Smart. Should we try lying? I never told a single lie during my other two playthroughs. But I'm kind of enjoying leaning into powerful build. Oh man, this place is huge. I can't wait to unwind. She hates powerful build protagonist. Oh my god. Yes, the estate is quite large, but I'd be careful about unwinding too much. You don't want to wander off somewhere you shouldn't. You might get some nasty splinters. Follow me. Put your bags down and follow her through a long, dusty hallway. You do her best to trace her steps as she avoids holes in the floor. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. Don't socialize with her. If you need food, there's peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Oh, I'm gonna, Tabby. I'm gonna eat your ice cream. That's something I'm very excited to try in this playthrough, is eat her ice cream. And access the garden, so I wouldn't. I've always dreamed of having a kitchen like this. It's so much bigger than what I'm used to in the city. Is that a kitchen island? It is, thank you. Oh, she believed me. What if I want ice cream? Then you can buy yourself some at the general store. If you touch my stash, I will know, and there will be consequences. But I'm your guest. Aren't you supposed to take care of me? I am, hence the PB&J fixings. That'll get you through the week. You don't need me to buy you ice cream, so I don't have to. I noticed, something else I noticed is that there's also an option when the stranger offers you the peanuts, you can tell him that you're allergic to peanuts, therefore making her PB&J fixins untenable for the protagonist. So that's another option with the food situation I could have gone down, but I'm going to eat her stuff. Eat her precious ice cream. See how she likes it. That's what I'm doing now. Alright, what's next? Bathroom. Pet the cat. Before following your cousin down the hall, you decide to pet the cat. She bites you hard and hisses violently. Tabitha sighs. As you've now learned, you should not pet Frou Frou. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Come on, the bathroom awaits. Alright, so no talking to animals this time. That's going to be disappointing, but I'm hoping that we still see some interesting stuff. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate, but for the time being, you feel lucky to not have fallen through the floors. Guest bathroom. It's a bathroom. Do what you must. It is a wretched and disgusting bathroom. Who's been even using this bathroom? There's so much garbage in it, so someone must be using it. There are boxes of hair dye, so much toothpaste, so many toothbrushes. Who has been using this bathroom? What a wonderful bathroom. I've always wanted one of those bathtubs with little feet on it. Glad you like it. That bathtub is an extremely valuable antique. Alright, we're gonna go. Bug skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business is doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must, and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. I didn't use the toilet last time, so I decided I'd use it this time. I fully expected the fact that we didn't go to the bathroom to come up. It didn't, but I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me that you pee your pants at some time during all the scary happenings in the woods if you didn't use the bathroom. So, that's something that happened in my last playthrough. Diana peed her pants. That is my belief. But Madeline is not going to. She used the bathroom. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. The room smells old. This is where I'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid, so you better be grateful. You can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. Do you need help around the house? There's a lot of boxes and stuff lying around here. I can help you move things around and fix the place up. Look, I appreciate the offer, but Janie already comes in once a week. It's fine. Okay, so my thoughts on the fact that Tabitha likes the house dirty. I think there are two possibilities. One, she's hiding something. I mean, obviously she's hiding something, but my thought is that the fact that the house is messy either helps her hide that, or she doesn't want Janie getting too into the mess, so she asks her not to do too much to clean. My other thought, and if you've been on the channel for a while, you won't be surprised, but I think that Tabitha is a little bit autistic, perhaps, which is something I like to recognize in characters in the games I play. I think she likes the mess the way it is. She is very organized at work, but she can't bring that home. That's very relatable to me personally. And also the fact that she only eats two kinds of food. She only eats ice cream and mac and cheese. That screams like sensory issues to me. So that's my Tabitha headcanon. I love this game so much. I made a Tumblr side blog, like, dedicated to, like, fandom stuff. And my handle is Autistic Tabitha Scarlet, because that is something I believe in so much. Alright. Let's continue lying to her. This is incredible. How'd you know how much I love cherubs? That chest is to die for. I'm surprised to see that you have such discerning taste. Every last piece of furniture in this room is a genuine antique, handed down through the family for generations. You don't like or even know how to verbally end conversations. I take it you don't have any other questions? Good. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. What am I supposed to do while you're gone? There's a very demanding job I should be getting back to right now that doesn't include figuring out activities for you to occupy your time with. I'm not your babysitter. Why don't you, I don't know, go walk around in town or something until you get tired? There are historic buildings to look at. I'm sure you'll have a great time. What kind of work do you do? She runs the coal mine. Same as every Scarlet before me except for you and your mom. Ew, gross. Running a coal mine has got to be one of the most ethically and physically vile jobs on the planet. You know, Madeline, I didn't wake up one morning and decide I wanted to do this job. It's a job and it needs doing. And if it doesn't get done, the people living in that town out there have nothing. Nothing. Not all of us get to grow up in Wilmington. Not all of us get to have the luxury of choice. So watch your mouth. I'm not going to apologize for calling you out and exploiting the working class to enrich yourself while suffocating the planet. Maybe they don't have a choice, but you, living in this enormous estate with your polluted fortune, do. I don't have the time or energy to put up with this right now. I'm leaving for work and will not be back until much later tonight. Hopefully by then you'll have given some thought to what it means to be civil, or we're going to be in for a long week together. Your cousin storms off in a huff and slams the door behind her. And now it's just you. The only things you've had to eat in the past 8 hours were those boiled peanuts you got from that strange young man on the bus. Suffice it to say, you're still hungry, and a PB&J sounds like exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. Head to the kitchen. But you're not having a PB&J, are you? The cat hisses as you draw near, but remains firmly in place. This is clearly Frou-Frou's spot on the counter. You put out your hand in an attempt to pet Frou-Frou. She bites you viciously. Honestly, what were you expecting? I just wanted the achievement from that. The cat emits a low growl as you cautiously back away. I'll check out the garden. It might not be very safe, but who's to stop you from venturing deeper? It's quiet out here. Okay, not much to be seen there. Okay. Okay. You open the fridge. Ice cream. Tabitha explicitly told me not to do this, you think to yourself, as you reach for a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She'll be really mad if she finds out, your conscience warns you as you take a scoop straight from the pint and shove it into your mouth. Before you know it, half the container is empty. Hide the evidence. Surely she won't notice if each container of ice cream has a small, almost imperceptible scoop taken from it. You jam each of these scoops into the half-empty container until it's once again brimming with banana chocolate chunk. As you return it to its place on the shelf, your guilt subsides. Your cousin will be none the wiser. I don't want to check. You know you probably shouldn't, but a part of you has to know how old that mayonnaise is. You pick up the jar, its label flaking in your hand. It expired 10 years ago. This jar of mayonnaise is old enough to graduate the 5th grade. Best to put it back and forget you ever saw it. Okay. Protein is protein, says Powerful Build. Protein is protein, you say to yourself as you force the slimy substance down your throat and into the steel trap that is your stomach. Your mouth and throat and senses might be revolted, but you know your muscles will thank you for this later. You've never been one to puke or get sick, and you don't see any reason why this slime would be any different. Alright. Alright, so you pick up a box of Tabitha's mac and cheese. You can't say you've ever seen the brand before. Empty the box and stuff it with a dead mouse on the shelf. Oh my god. You can be really awful. Oh my god. Should I eat it? Or should I be a Oh my god. Oh, the messy playthrough is getting off to a great start. We're just doing the most obnoxious things that I could possibly do. Oh my god. I don't want to... It seems like that would be like threatening her. Let's just cook it. Your hunger is satisfied. But you can't help but wonder what consequences might await you in the future. Staying away from the mac and cheese was one of your cousin's hard rules, and she already seems not to like you. That's a problem for future you, though. Grab a bowl. You reach for the bowl, but as you pull it down, a blend of vinegar and dead moth splashes onto you, immediately staining your shirt. On the back of the bowl is a note that reads, "Moth trap, do not touch." Whoops. Your shirt is now unpleasantly wet. You'll probably change into something clean before you leave the house. Alright. We had a good meal. We don't need the PB&J. We ate some ice cream. We ate some nasty takeout. We ate some mac and cheese. We made Tabitha really mad in the process, I'm sure. And we spilled vinegar all over ourselves, so... Let's change. Can we not change? An opossum lurks within. It is quiet but angry. Go on, get. You gently hit the creature with the palm of your hand, attempting to scare it out of the drawer. It merely curls up in defeat, feigning death to get you to leave it alone. You give up and close the drawer. The creature will not be moved. Oh. We made Dustin play dead. We threatened him that much. You open the top drawer next. It's empty. As good a place as you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you'd have been better off keeping your clothes in your nice clean bag, but there's no going back now. Check out the closet, pick up the doll, just look at it. Look out the window. Imagining what life would be like to... what it would be like to, live in that garden. Maribel Scarlet. Let's see, can Powerful Bill take a nap? I guess not. Yeah. That's enough. Can we not change our clothes? I guess we just smell like vinegar now. Alright, forbidden wings. Okay, the locks and chains sealing the doors shut. An insurmountable obstacle for most, but a mild inconvenience for you. This is something I was excited for. Street smart and powerful build together can get you into the forbidden wings. As the locks fall, the doors moan open, revealing the entrance to what once must have been an incredibly lavish ballroom. Faintly in the distance, you can hear the quiet notes of an old piano playing from another room. The forbidden wings are yours to explore. Enter. You can see why your cousin warned you against coming here. Deep gashes tear across the floor, and years of detritus have turned what once must have been a magnificent and open ballroom into a tight and claustrophobic maze. The piano you heard from outside the ballroom has grown louder. Wherever it is, it's nearby. It's probably just a self-playing model, but maybe you aren't as alone here as you thought. Examine the painting. You make your way over to the painting covering the far wall. It's a family tree. Angry black scratches cover the space where your mother should be. That would be here. So there's Pearl Ann. There's Tabitha. Let's see all the characters that we can recognize. Edwardine, Maribel and Alexandra, So Edwardine is murder grandma. Enoch, her father, her husband, I don't really remember. I think it's her father. Edwardine's two brothers who died in the war. Theodore, his brother. Andrew Jackson Scarlet and Silas Scarlet. Okay, I recognize all these names. Figure out where the piano is coming from. As far as you can tell, there are 3 exits to the ballroom. There is, of course, the door you came through, and on your far right is a door beyond a broken floor, a dead end. Across the room from where you entered is a 3rd and final exit, a glass doorway you can just barely make out behind a pile of broken furniture. You move to investigate it more closely. As you approach, the playing grows clearer. Without a doubt, the piano is behind this door. Alright, with powerful build, we can clear the furniture blocking the doorway. It weighs a considerable amount, and it's safe to say that most people would be unable to move it on their own. You aren't most people, though, and with a bit of muscle, you clear it off to the side. As you move the final piece out of your way, the playing stops, as if aware of your efforts. I see eyes in the doorway. As you step through the door, something slips through your periphery and into the shadows. You lock eyes with it as it lingers in the doorway at the far side of the room, the two of you separated by a cavernous gash in the floor. What are you doing here? Your words hang in the air as the presence slips deeper into the estate. Alright. That was interesting. Wait. Whatever it was that you just encountered leaves you wondering just how much longer you should even stay in the estate on your own. I thought... That looks like a cat, that shadow. I thought it was a cat for a second. I thought Frou Frou was here with us. Weird. I wonder if that was intentional. Alright. Might as well head to town. Alright, we're gonna meet Stella and be really rude to her. Okay, before leaving the house, you rinse off and change into a clean shirt. You're not about to meet new people coated in vinegar and dead moths. You probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop if you'd known you'd have to walk all the way back. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension. Though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Maybe it's the perfect time. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked, and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps on the lane, and you shudder. Oh, Gretchen. Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers! Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. Oh, let's be real mean. Is that supposed to be a dog? Why do you have this horrible monster? I think she's cute. Okay, Stella doesn't really react to you being rude. But I get it. She is an acquired taste for a lot of people, especially now that she's getting up there in years. She looks pretty good for 17, though. And as you've now seen firsthand, she hasn't slowed down at all. She's as spry as she's ever been. She needs to be put out of her misery. No! Okay, I think... Okay, no. With powerful build, I think I'm going to be able to save Gretchen, okay? I'm going to be able to save both Gretchen and Duke. If that's not the case, then she's going to have to go, but unfortunately, because I still haven't seen that path. I've let Duke die twice, and I need to see something different. That's too old for a pug. Are you sure her quality of life is still, good enough? Definitely. I mean, you saw her tearing up the turf. She's as spry as she's ever been. I'm hopeful she'll live long enough to beat the current record holder for the world's oldest pug. I bet you could make it to 19, don't you, Gretch? Or better yet, 20. The more time we get together, the better. Hey, I'm sorry. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot here. I'm Stella. It's not often you see a strange face, then every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? I wouldn't be caught dead at a funeral. Very funny, but I recognize those sunken eyes and rigid cheekbones anywhere. That scarlet blood runs thick. Okay, so that's what we look like a little bit. Sunken eyes and rigid cheekbones. Yeah, and I guess that your character has those no matter how you play them, no matter what traits you take, no matter what gender you choose. I recall at the end of our last playthrough when we were romancing Reese and he was drawing us, he mentioned that we had very interesting bone structure. And I was like, really? Our character just has interesting bone structure regardless of what we're like. And, you know, he could have just been saying that because he liked us. I don't know. But no, that kind of confirms it. We're very striking to look at. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? That's the only person I can think of who would come to town for the funeral. How's she holding up? I've been worried about her. Why do you want to know? I used to know her pretty well. It's been a while though, and with her mom passing the other day, I just want to know if she's okay. I don't know how she's doing and I don't care. Dead mom or not, she's a deeply unpleasant person and has brought her isolation upon herself. You're not wrong. That's how she is with everyone. But I think you care, at least a little bit. You're here for what that's worth. I'm not sure what it says about her state of mind that she's still her same old grumpy self. Having somebody else at the house will be good for her, even though she'd probably never admit it. She's really not worth your time. If that's really how she is with everyone, I don't see how you can think she's worth your time. We failed to get Stella and Tabitha back together in the last playthrough, and I'm not even trying for that now. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to nip that in the bud, because we're being rude to everybody. I guess we just see the world differently. I don't really think about people as individually being worthy or unworthy of my time and attention. I have enough compassion to go around, you know? Oh, that's a very nice way to be, Stella. The fact that you're being so cheery in the face of me being so mean makes me like you even more. You know, I was saying in my first playthrough, I've never really been that big a fan of Stella, but she has a lot of love to give, and I can appreciate that in a character. Especially in a small town like this. Trust me, there's a kindness at her core, as much as she doesn't want to admit it. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. Alright. Pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food. The diner is filled with the comforting din of human life, all of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. What are you looking at? They continue to stare as you slide into a booth, doing your best to avoid their gaze. You probably made quite an impression with an introduction like that. Hey, Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Aw, shucks, thanks, Avery. Here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Yeah. Okay. Oh man, maybe being rude to the diner patrons was a wrong call, because I'm going to be rude to everybody in this game, except for one person. I'm going to be as nice as I possibly can be to Avery, because I am going to be romancing them this playthrough. Like I said before, I just think they're really attractive. And seem like they were pulled from a more conventional dating sim to be put into this game, you know? So, anything for you? Stella said she's buying. Well, we're in front of Avery, so let's just order a biscuit. I'll have a biscuit, please. I heard they were really good. Best in the county. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. I should also say here, I just bought the soundtrack to this game. Avery's theme is probably my favorite track in the soundtrack so far. I think it's really nice. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. The funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. Reading adventure. Avery's throwing a party. And there's a weekly Sunday potluck. Cool. Well, I don't want to say that the party doesn't strike my fancy. Sounds neat. Maybe I'll check some of these things out. Anyway, those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? What's your angle here? My angle? I would never have an angle. She definitely has an angle. Okay, so my job means I spend a lot of time in the woods with the camera, and it's always better when someone else is there to... Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Here's a biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. Chow down. Yep, it's a delicious biscuit. It's the best biscuit I've ever had, but that's not saying much. I don't think I actually like biscuits. Like, I know this is a really good biscuit, and I'd eat it again, but if this is the best the world of biscuits has to offer, consider me unimpressed. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Aw, damn it. Did I mess up? To each your own, I guess. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So as Stella mentioned she's famous, I think I already messed up. Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. If you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. She's a YouTuber. Oh, okay. She's incredible. You should really give her channel a try, Madeline. She hunts cryptids. Wait, how did you know my name? Oh, sorry. It's just that most people in town know about you. Sorry, I'm sure that must seem creepy. Ah, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. The Holler's a small place. Everybody knows everybody, and that includes his extended family. It's all good. I was just caught a little off guard. Phew! Glad that didn't freak you out too much. Yeah, and don't worry. Nothing Pearl Ann said about you'll stick. That's for sure. You can just make a good first impression and wipe the slate clean with the whole town. Oh god, what was she saying about me? Ah, jeez. Look, sorry I said anything. Hey, don't worry about it. Pearl Ann was a gossip and would do this sort of thing with everyone. Spreading weird little rumors about folks was kind of her trademark. Anyways, weren't we in the middle of talking about Stella's illustrious YouTube career? I guess we were, weren't we? I think the best video to start with would be the river one. Not the lake, but you know, the controversial one. The Catawba River Runner. Wound up being her most popular video by far. 2 Boy Scouts saw the river runner in the Catawba River, and that's all she had to go on. But then she wound up catching that on camera. Some folks said it was a beaver. People said it was a dog or a capybara that escaped from a wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was. Whatever it is, I bet I could take it on. Damn, you think so? Some of the folks in the comments thought it was a mountain lion. Yeah, I bet she could take on a mountain lion. Those things are barely bigger than house cats. But that's besides the point, because it's not a mountain lion. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found jack squat. Alright, we already saw this, about her saying it's too short to be a mountain lion. They're a fan of the capybaras, sewer gator. Alright, so she was planning on filming. It's a pretty easy one. Wait, no spoilers. Sorry, Avery. It's okay, I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. Skunk ape. Isn't that just worse Bigfoot? Ha! It's definitely one of the lesser ape-type cryptids, and one of the smellier, according to some sources. They say you should be able to smell it before you see it. I don't know about you, but I find the idea of discovering something previously unknown to be excitement enough, even if it is just worse Bigfoot. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but she saw a lady from the town over, saw one on the deck playing tug-of-war with her dog, and I leave no stone unturned. I decided it was worth investigating. Alright. Powerful Build says, heck yeah, I'll come. I've been hoping you'd ask since the moment I heard cryptids. I live for the thrill. Yes, I pegged you for a good adventuring buddy the second I saw you. Glad to see I made the right call. This is going to be a lot of fun. I started the channel with a couple of buddies of mine in middle school. Me and Kanika and Reese, who are all going to hate me probably. Yeah, she wonders if they'd be around to come along. Reese. I'm going to be mean to Reese. That's going to be the hardest part. I already, made things bad with Kanika in my last playthrough because I was friends with Tabitha, and she didn't like the fact that I was friends with Tabitha because she didn't like Tabitha. So I kind of made Kanika dislike me by association, which really sucked, but I didn't really actively do it. This time I'm going to choose to be, actively mean to both Kanika and Reese, both of the other characters that I've romanced, so the fallout from that is gonna be awful. This is gonna be fun, and it's just a silly alternate playthrough. It's not really my main one. I just want to see all the game has to offer, but oh boy. Things are gonna be rough. It's just now kind of dawning on me. Maybe this is a bad idea, but I'm gonna keep going with it. Alright, she's gonna call Reese. Dude, what's up? Sorry to hear that. If you change your mind. She's Tabitha's cousin. Yeah, just here for the week. We could take the easier trails. Dang man, that sounds awful. 'Cause he's sick, but he's not really sick. I'll bring her. Bye, bud. It's just you and me. Did he ask you to bring me to his house? Why? He's excited to meet you. What's his deal? He's not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on the past, 10 years or so, but I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along. He's hilarious, you'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. We'll see. I don't know how much I should commit to doing this week. That's fair, but if you find you have the time, he'd love to meet you. He can be a little rough around the edges, but in a funny way. Maybe you could learn something from him. Yeah, you're rough around the edges, but not in a fun way. You're just awful. I love that. I love that line. Maybe you could learn something from him. Be more like the guy I like, you know? But we can talk about making friendship plans later. From now on, we've got a skunk ape to hunt. So we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. I'll leave a tip for Avery. Yeah, this is exactly what I did last time. I could have left a generous tip, but I don't know. That seemed very out of character, and I get very serious about role-playing characters correctly. Not just making choices for the sake of making choices that are different from what I've done before. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good place to end this episode. As you can probably see with the skipping dialogue and whatnot, episodes are moving a little quicker. We got a lot farther in this first episode than we did in the first episode of the last playthrough. So the playthrough will probably be a little condensed based on like what new things there are to see. But I don't know. I'm already having fun and kind of hating it at the same time. I hate being mean to people in video games, which is why I always reserve that for like a mean second playthrough. And then I have no fun. But I am kind of having fun with the powerful build, like being this big brute who's like, hell yeah, protein. That's fun. Okay, so I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Scarlet Hollow.